in many ways, Budapest is the perfect size for a city. It's big enough to have everything, but it's more manageable than London. I find London now very hard work. I to and fro between London and Budapest, and I'm usually more at peace in Budapest now than in London, where you have to wake up in the morning and check who's on strike and which bits of public transport are working, etc., etc.
Yeah, one of the things that I was very happy with when I lived in Budapest is one thing you just mentioned is the public transport. With this 4 and 6, for people who don't know, is a tram line which covers, I'd say, most of the city center and some other parts not far from the core of Budapest. It's 24 hours, so you can get anywhere you want pretty easily, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I mean the public transport is very good. I mean, perhaps comparing it with London isn't a fair comparison because London is such a much bigger city, but the public transport here is very good. In the evenings, it's not so good. I mean, if you love nightlife, then the public transport, you spend a lot of time waiting at the tram stop late at night, but it's very good, and it's sort of cleaner and more organized than London. I mean, I now find it almost impossible to make a journey on the tube because I live very centrally in London, so I always use public transport. And it's very hard to make a journey into London and back without, a beggar, a nutcase, a drunk, someone just very annoying. Okay, you do get a drunk and a lunatic occasionally, or a beggar on Budapest public transport. But it's much better. People behave much more, much more orderly and considerate way. Again, perhaps because Budapest is a smaller city, so there isn't the same sort of degree of alienation that you can get in London.
Yeah, I would subscribe all that. Do you feel home in Hungary, or how would you describe your feelings when you are there?
Well, as you said, I mean, my parents left Hungary in 1956 after the revolution and went to the UK, where I was born and where I grew up. But all the rest of the family, everyone else stayed behind. So I still have, many relatives here, many cousins. I get lots of very good free meals. As I say, I think Budapest is just a very enjoyable city to live in, generally speaking. I mean, most people who come here and visit, particularly now that the city has been, tarted up. I mean, I first came to Hungary in 1982, and the center of town was still riddled with bullet holes, either from the Second World War or from the revolution of 1956. The castle area was mostly a pile of rubble when I first came in 1982. That's been completely renovated. It looks fantastic. The Prime Minister's office is there now up on the castle. The center of the city looks very good. I mean, if you look very hard in some of the back streets in the sort of quieter parts of Budapest, you can still find the occasional bullet hole or sort of damage from, a tank shell, but it's been beautified to a great extent. And as I say, it's just a very, very pleasant place to live. It's a very cosmopolitan city. And you can do anything you want. There are very good bookshops, very good restaurants, a great music scene. I mean, if you enjoy music, there's a lot going on here. A lot of leading, musicians come to perform here. And then you have the Liszt Academy, which has all sorts of concerts with, incredibly talented young musicians. So, and also if you happen to be, a non-Hungarian, you'll probably find the ticket prices very, very agreeable. So, as I say, again, when I first came in sort of 1982, the people on the plane were usually people like me who had some sort of connection with Hungary or were doing some sort of business maybe with Hungary. Now it's full of people coming for a weekend break, 1 week, because it's a great tourist destination, which occasionally has a downside. I mean, we did have the sort of stag party people too.
Yeah.
But people, I don't think I've ever met anyone who came to Budapest and said, "Oh, I didn't really like it. I'm never going back."
Yeah, that's true. I never thought of that. Like all the comments I heard about Budapest, it's positive, which is kind of fishy. How come there is a consensus in humanity, especially these days.